going to do our final songs today and story, and if you sing really well, listen really well, you can have the next 2 days off school. Okay? Here we go. You ready to sing? 3, 2, 1.
Looking out, it's a great big world. Where do I go? How do I fit in? Gotta keep this one thing on my mind. Maker of all the universes on my side. And if God is for me, who can be against me? God is for me, who can be against me? He is my strength, he is my friend forever. God is for me, who can be against me? Looking out, it's a great big world. Where do I go? How do I fit in? Gotta keep this one thing on my mind. Maker of all the universes on my side. And if God is for me, who can be against me? God is for me, who can be against me? He is my strength, he is my friend forever. God is for me, who can be against me? When I just don't understand, God is for me. When life doesn't go the way I planned, God is for me. When I just don't understand, God is for me. When life doesn't go the way I planned, God is for me. If God is for me, who can be against me? God is for me, who can be against me? He is my strength, he is my friend forever. God is for me, who can be against me? God is for me, who can be against me?
Whoa, brilliant song. Now we're going to go back to Poland and we're going to come to the bottom of the mountain. We found all these sheep and it reminded me of the wonderful story of the 99 sheep. Here we go. We're out here walking through the mountains in the south of Poland and we've come across, you'll see lots of shepherds looking after the sheep. And here this shepherd here's got 100 sheep and it reminds me of the famous parable that the Lord Jesus told whenever the shepherd would bring the sheep in every night and he would count them and there was only 99. And you see here the shepherd has, we're going to go a little bit closer, but he's bringing his sheep in and to the little fold. So let's go closer. As you can see, the shepherd, he is bringing the sheep into the fold and he has his little dog to help him. And he'll bring them in because at night time in these mountains there's wolves, there's bears, there's wild cats, all sorts of danger the sheep will be in. So the shepherd, he has this little hut and he would bring them in and then he would count them. But you see the one at the back, it's going to go missing and it's going to be left out. So he's going to count them. Let's go closer. In the fold, the 99 sheep are there, but one, it's got left behind and this sheep is injured. And unless it finds a fold, unless it finds the other sheep, the wild animals are going to get it. And the shepherd, he's going to come looking for it and he's going to make sure it's safe and well. And this shepherd lifted the sheep over his shoulders and he said to all the other shepherds, come with me and rejoice with me, because this sheep was lost, it was hurt, but now it's fine. And that's a lovely picture, because the Lord Jesus says likewise in heaven, in the presence of all the angels, everyone who's gone to heaven before us, every time a sinner repents, someone becomes a Christian. Now everybody in heaven is rejoicing, not just the angels, but every single other person in heaven. And here the shepherd, he will count all the sheep to make sure there's none missing. And there's one, and he hasn't forgot about it. He notices it, and he's patiently waiting, and he's going to help the sheep to come into the fold.
You are the shepherd, I belong to you.
And inside the fold, these sheep are safe. The shepherd is with them, he's caring for the sheep. You see here, he's clipping the hooves of the sheep. He cares for them, he's protecting them, he's looking after them. And one by one, he will check each sheep. And there's 100 sheep, but remember, there was one missing, and he found it. He's calling the sheep, and he's watching them one by one, and he'll care for the sheep. That's what the Lord Jesus, he says, we are like these sheep. All the sheep are the same. The shepherd doesn't have favourite sheep. He cares for them all, and that's what the Lord Jesus does. He cares for every one of his children, every one of his sheep, and they all look the same, and he cares for each one. When they're inside the fold, they're safe, and they're sound, and they're secure from all the dangers at night time, from the wild birds or the wild bears or the dogs. And the shepherd, of course, he has his wee hut, and here he stays with the hut and his wee dogs, because he can care for and look after the sheep. Famously in the Polish mountains, you can buy cheese, sheep's cheese, and it's made from sheep's milk. And very often they will bring the sheep in, and the reason they brought the sheep in this afternoon, of course, is to milk them. And we're going to see how they can milk the sheep and eventually get cheese. They can drink the sheep's milk or eat the sheep's cheese. I love it. Here the shepherds, they bring the sheep in, then one by one they let them out, and if they're milking sheep, they can then milk them and put the milk into the bucket. And they can either use it to feed little lambs, or they can use it to make cheese, which is very, very, very important for the mountain shepherds. That's how they get their income and how they get their money from the sheep's milk.
Show me how to follow, Lord, keep me close to you.
This here's the shepherd's horse, and the shepherd has a horse and cart, horse and trailer. And of course this, whenever he's moving, he would literally move his house with him as he moves across the mountain and around the mountain. He brings the fence with him, he brings the home with him. And the horse is the shepherd's friend. And not only that, the horse is a strong horse, his strength. And there's a picture here because this horse reminds me of the Lord, because the Lord is my strength and he's my salvation. He helps me to carry my load with me, all my cares, all my anxieties, all my struggles, anything. I just give them to the Lord and he carries them for me. He says, give them to me and I'll care for you. I cast all your cares upon me and I will carry them, or I'll care for you. This picture's a lovely horse, and he can ride the horse, the horse can pull his cart, and the horse is always with the shepherd, a good friend. And of course this is the shepherd's dog. So the shepherd has a wonderful life, just living in the mountains with his horse, with his dog, with his little house, with his sheep. He milks his sheep, gets his income, and it's enough to live in. And it teaches me also, boys and girls, life's not all about getting a big house and a big car. Life is about being content and being happy. And the Bible tells me godliness with contentment is great gain. And when you have God in your life, you've got everything that you will ever need in this world, because we're born into this world with nothing. And we'll leave this world with nothing also. So life is not about getting everything. Life is about finding God and getting as close to God as you possibly can. And whenever you die and you're saved, you've got the Lord Jesus in your heart, you'll be with God forever. So these little illustrations, these pictures of the horse, of the dog, of the little house, of the sheep, of the milk, of the shepherds, just reminds me so much of God's love and the Lord Jesus being the good shepherd, the great shepherd who gave his life for the sheep. All right, horsey. So we've just come down from the mountain. We were talking about the sheep and the sheep's cheese. We've come to a little cafe at the bottom of the mountain, and we've actually bought some sheep's cheese and some cranberry sauce. So we're going to try it. I love cheese. We automatically assume this cheese comes from cow's milk. You get a goat's cheese and sheep's cheese and cranberry sauce. Do you want to try it? Mmm. Bah, 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 bah. That cheese was very, very tasty. Have you ever ate sheep's cheese before? Helps you to sing. We're all part of God's creation. Let's finish that wee song. Here we go.
I'm part of God's creation, part of His plan for everything. I'm part of God's creation. He has a plan for me. God made the world of beauty, a world of order too. God made man in His image and gave him work to do. I'm part of God's creation, part of His plan for everything. I'm part of God's creation. He has a plan for me. He has a plan for me. He has a plan for me.
Wonderful. He has a plan for me, and He has a plan for you. You think about that one. It's Friday. It's the end of another week. Don't forget on our YouTube channel, Hope for Youth Ministries, on Sunday, every Sunday at 10:30, we have a special Sunday school for absolutely everyone. If you're free, we'll see you then. Otherwise, we're back on Monday. Bye for now.
Yeah, 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 yeah.